Kings and Queens, Your Majesties, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for returning. Trust you and yours are well, and you loving yourself and others like always. Many thanks to all of you for the support you give to the channel. Thank you so much to our channel members, to our anonymous supporters, to all of you my esteemed subscribers. You are loved, celebrated, and of course appreciated. There is a message. Remember, I told you that these people are fully aware that their end is coming gradually. I told you here that they know that Europe is falling. And some of you say, don't say Europe is falling, say France is falling. Okay, let's listen to this. I will take it off from there.
Ladies and gentlemen, greetings from your respective positions. Once again, you are welcome here on the Awakening Tech Conscience platform. This is the headline of international news. The blunt remarks made by the Italian general known as Marco Bertolini. Marco Bertolini spoke clearly and directly to the Europeans. He made them understand what the Europeans do not want to understand. Never have we seen a European be so direct with the Europeans. We are talking about Italy. These are sensible words spoken by the Italian general. He tells the whole truth concerning Russia. I simply ask you to share this video and watch it until the end. So, he begins by saying this. He says, let us be aware of this, especially for our children and those who will follow us, because after this, it will be too late. He says, the European Union of peace no longer exists. The European Union of peace no longer exists. This means that he is telling Europe to realize that the European Union that now exists is a union for war. He continues by saying, if indeed it ever existed. That is to say, the European Union, as it currently stands, has reached a level that has never existed before. He continues by saying this, that the European Union died with the belligerent support given to Ukraine. Since the European Union began supporting Ukraine, the European Union has disappeared. He says, and with the war against the Russian Federation. So, supporting Ukraine and waging war against the Russian Federation, that was the biggest mistake of the European Union. And according to this general, that's what made the European Union disappear. He is a general. He says this. The European Union is in the hands of a group of vile adventurers. They, who for their own profit and vile money, gather under the command oath of a nation. The United Kingdom, which left the European Union, and now positions itself at the head of the remaining European countries, to lead us all into war to achieve its historical objective. You see, this general says that it is the United Kingdom that is at the core, because the United Kingdom has an objective. They left the European Union, and now they are coming back to take the lead of the European Union, to direct all European countries against the Russian Federation. But looking at what the British Prime Minister, Keith Starmer, is doing with Emmanuel Macron, in practice, we immediately see the logic in what this general is saying. Imagine that the general spoke, but just yesterday, we saw the largest warship, the most formidable Russian warship off the coast of France, on the move, and it came to intervene to help France. But it is the United Kingdom. It is Great Britain. So, this general really spoke. I ask you to share. Share the video. Please give it a lot of likes. He says, what is the historical objective of the United Kingdom? It is to destroy Russia, to break it up into a number of small vassal states, and plunder its immense resources with their classic colonialist mindset. So, he clearly says that the United Kingdom wants to colonize Russia, that is, to destroy Russia. There is no more Putin and others. The United Kingdom will seize Russia, cut it into small pieces, and then sell off and plunder its wealth. So, he continues, he says, European elites quickly forget. They forget the disasters that struck all those who, from the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth from 1632 to 1634, to the Swedish Empire from 1788 to 1790, from Napoleon in 1813, to Hitler in 1941, attempted to conquer Russian territories. So they recall dates, all those who tried to conquer Russian territories. They forget what happened to them. Then he reads, the Europeans would like to attack Russia again today, forgetting their history on the various dates he mentioned. He reads, the Europeans are once again bringing war and destruction to Europe. He says, the paradox is that this war is desired by everyone, by all those who have so far waved the flags of peace and spoken of a Europe of peace, freedom, and democracy. Precisely at the moment when the USA and the Russian Federation are reaching a peace agreement. At a time when the USA and Russia are in the process of reaching a peace agreement, the very people in Europe who were promoting a Europe of peace and freedom are now provoking war through and with the support of the United Kingdom, who has their own interests. You know, in this matter, everyone has their personal interest. France's personal interest in this matter, in this war, is how to obtain resources, some rare resources, to fuel its military industry. And Great Britain also has the same objective, how to occupy the entire Russian territory. The United States, they have understood that they can do nothing. American intelligence services are very powerful. They have therefore gathered all the necessary information to show Donald Trump to what extent Russia is ready. I'm telling you that even the commander, of the NATO joint forces made a report to say that Russia is ready. So, this general you see there, he's speaking. He has spoken. He says, hypocritical Europeans. He says, that is why I sincerely hope that this horrible union, I won't say the rest, oligarchic, warmongering, authoritarian and anti-popular, will soon fail, and that European states will be free. So, this is what the gentleman says. In truth, Europeans simply need to have ears to listen and understand, to have discernment. What must be said first is that the truth is, some Europeans have started to understand, especially in France, as we have recently seen large mobilizations taking place in France. We have seen students coming out, trade unionists coming out. There is also a range of mobilizations currently underway. So, we hope that other Europeans will understand in the same way. Otherwise, Russia is very ready. The proof is there. The simple statement from a report made by France, where it is said that Macron wants to send a nuclear message to Russia. Russia responded yesterday, not even 48 hours. And it created a panic in France. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was the headline of the news. Thank you for sharing it as much as possible. I'll get back to you shortly. That was the voice of your one and only samurai.
All right, Majesties, we have listened to that. That was an Italian military general who had said all of this. And I think he is beginning to sit down and think critically about the whole situation in the world as it is right now, and how they have been involved in destroying mankind. And I think he is understanding that They themselves will be the destruction of themselves, since they are bent on destroying other people. So how can your sole objective be to destroy another man's land and take out another man's life? I don't understand. You have large meetings, large audiences, just to sit down to plan how you can invade another man's kingdom. Just like that. When there is no war, these people are not happy. It is they themselves who use their hand to destroy themselves, since they are so much bent on killing each other. And this is where the wisdom is seen in the discussion I had with you of that young man who was calling Africans and those of African descent not to side with Iran or Israel or America, because they are the same people who have decided to destroy their lives. And do you know that it is the same thing they want Africa to begin to do? They want African countries to begin to turn against each other. That is the sole reason why they propagated the ideas of every African nation having their own separate army. And they do not want Africa to unite to have one single army. Because they know that there will be a time where they can instigate different countries in the continent against each other, so that we can begin to kill each other like they are doing to themselves now. This is the sole reason why Pan-Africans across the world, across the continent, is drawing our minds most of the times, if not all of the time, to the fact that your brother is never your enemy. Do not make the mistake of looking at your neighboring country as the cause of your problem. Because there is always a force that is ready, always, to destroy the peace that we have amongst ourselves as Africans. Even if you look at Abigail as a wicked person, a bad person, or you think that Abigail is siding with some countries who are going to other people's countries, destroying them, I will still want to draw your mind to the fact that we should be very careful where we are dealing with issues like this. Do not get it twisted. Whoever you see in your nation destroying your nation, doing things that should not be done, bring that person to book. Prosecute that person according to the law of the land. But be careful to make it a general something that you have to involve the whole country. Be careful in eagerly trying to cause chaos between two nations, pitching one nation against the other. We have to be very careful as Africans, especially content creators who are always ready to pick their microphone and say this country is this, that country is that, this country is going to this person's country to do this. Instigating, I believe you understand, there are Africans who are okay to instigate fellow nations against each other. And that is why you will hardly see me here saying that this country is solely evil, that country is solely good. We have to be careful because there is a thin line. These people are always prepared to take advantage of situation. I just hope that the ancestors open our eyes to see beyond and understand the tactics that these people always use to take advantage of us as Africans. I'm going to see you in my next one. What do you think about the situation? Leave your thoughts and opinion there at the section. Until then, love yourself, love others, stay safe, stay positive, always, Your Majesties. Bye for now.